was back on stage. My bad. Welcome back to another episode of Ravens Roundup. And we're sitting here with my guys from Lunch Break Hot Take, Jose and B. What's good with you fellas?
What's going on,
Come on,
Coach?
coach.
Now, before we get into it, let me tweet this out. Get us a few people in here. Tweet it out. Chris, I think Chris will be joining us shortly. But we gonna make sure we keep this rolling before he get here. But hey, what's been going on y'all end, man?
Just waiting for the draft to come, man. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more content afterwards.
Oh, most definitely, it's gonna ramp up for a good 2 to 3 weeks, and then we go back into that lower moment. But no, because then we have schedule coming out. I think the schedule's coming out exactly a month from today. A month from today is my birthday, y'all. So just know that if you want to send stuff exactly a month from here, do it.
You're born on the 14th?
I am.
I was born on the 13th.
Yep, I am. Me and my missus. We 14 babies.
Taurus?
I am. Yes, she not.
Yeah. Yep. We both Taurus. Okay.
You're on the 13th, right?
13th, yeah.
Yep. One of my good homeboys on the 13th. OD.
Okay.
We've been trying, like his wife and my wife are quote unquote sisters, but we've been trying to like have a birthday something together for probably I know 10, 11, 12 years, and it ain't happened yet. Like a trip or a get together, a gathering or something. It just ain't happened yet, but hopefully it'll happen before too long. But Taurus season is about 7 days away. So Team Taurus, hey, get in the building. I think Bazel's a Taurus as well, I think.
He must be.
Yeah, well,
he's too stubborn to not be.
Bazel's a Taurus, and all the other Taurus.
Chris?
Make sure y'all check in starting April 22nd. Team Taurus, check in. What up, Chris?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good? You good? You in the building? Your mic check is good. Your live mic check is good.
He can't hear us. Oh, he can't hear us. You have to change your audio setting.
I think I got it.
Good.
Okay.
You hear us?
What?
He has to change the microphone setting.
You can't hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Okay, well, yeah, we got you. So basically we just been in here, shooting the what until giving you a little time to do what you need to do. We hadn't got to any topics yet. Like we just started maybe 2 minutes ago. So you ain't missed nothing. You all good.
Okay, cool.
So well, you only missed the rundown, but you pretty internet savvy. You ain't got to be worried about the topics that come up. All right.
Sounds
so
good.
with first of all, shout out to Hendo. He had something to do, so he couldn't be here. So Rogue Pod won't be here. Then shout out to Mike that's still doing his thing again. Even though I know y'all ain't seen Mike in a long time, Mike's still a part of this. So don't get it twisted.
Thanks.
Whenever his schedule clear up, he back in the building. But I'm gonna start working on another mic too after some information I got today, Chris. And I'll let group chat. I'm gonna start working on another mic too. I don't know. He probably ain't hearing this, but I hope he's not hearing it. But I'm gonna start working on him too. So hey, the more good people we can have being here, the merrier. It ain't nothing but good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. So you gonna be there for the draft?
Yes, he said he was.
Bet.
He was. So
I'm not gonna be there
for which one?
The draft.
Which day?
All of them. I'll be covering the playoffs, NBA playoffs.
Oh well, yeah, that's a lie. Hey B, before we get started, Cam says, "Hola, Jose, mucho gusto, Bradney. Sup, Chris?
Nice to meet you, Cam.
Killer Cam.
Cam say his birthday this Thursday.
Oh snap! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Cam.
Huh? What's up?
What's good, TLB? Appreciate you for coming through. Let's do the shout out.
Salute.
Ain't this shout outs in a minute. Ravenville was first. He says I'm first. 86 Ghost dropped in and say, I've been waiting on my TV. I forgot I can't access the chat on here. Well, yeah, you got to get to your phone or you got to get to the computer or something. At least I ain't figured out how to watch it on TV and then chat as well. If you have figured that out, B, let me know because I ain't figured it out yet. MJ say he last. MJ and Jose and B can amen this. I had some sounds queued up, and I thought I had one of your sounds queued up, but it wasn't. So the intro that you heard coming in was supposed to be something that you sent me, but I didn't have. I had the wrong thing queued up. So just know that I ain't forgot about you, and I'm still gonna pump that out and try to promote the stuff that you sent me, because the 3 you sent me, I thought all of them were fire. But we definitely gonna promote that out and try to pump you up and get you some things here at Joe. But I appreciate you for sending that my way as well. Big Reg, what's good, Reg? What's good? What's good?
Hey, what's up, Big Reg?
Appreciate you.
Now, Big Reg, when you think about the draft, the WNBA draft, how you think the Sun made out? Because they need some help.
Put in there, Reg, because I know he love all his Connecticut teams, the Huskies, the Sun. I mean, do we have a basketball? He ain't got no
Orlando.
How you go from Connecticut to Orlando? What kind of crap is that?
Hey, when your city ain't got a team, you're a free agent.
Yeah, my state ain't had no team, so I was free agents with everybody.
He chose poorly.
We ain't had nothing. All we had was college. We ain't had nothing. All right, but this is what we got. So the Ravens have been having top 30 visits. Let me put them on the screen. These are the guys that have been reported to have their top 30 visits. Ashton Genty, Anthony Belton, Efton Chisholm, Charles Grant, Shamar Turner, Femi from UCLA. That's one of our names, Chris. Femi. Shamar Stewart, Carson Vincent, Josh Simmons, Carson Swessinger, Jalen Reed, Jordan Riley, Keandre Lambert-Smith, R.J. Harvey, Talik Williams, Samuel Modon Jr., Princely Umamilan from Ole Miss, Jaden Blue, Ben Yorksey, and Jonas Shanker, safety from Virginia. And from what I've read, the Ravens have only drafted one person that they've had for a 30 visit. So my question to you guys, out of the 20 names on this list, who would be the one person that you would love to have in a Ravens uniform, realistically, off this? Because, the number one guy ain't realistic. So, but probably the other 19, maybe.
Apparently, none of them are realistic. You'll never get them. I mean, yeah, obviously, I would love to have Ashton Genty, man. When we talk about trade up and do something special, man, like do that. Trade up and get Ashton Genty. But realistically, I want to focus on O-line, right? Charles Grant, is he projected to go in the first round? I don't think he is he?
I don't think so. Charles Grant from William & Mary, no.
Yeah.
He won the first round, guys.
Josh Simmons. I would say Josh Simmons. Yeah.
Okay. That ain't a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. Chris B.
Yeah, that was going to be my choice as well. Just because the Baltimore Ravens they just criminally undervalue tackle. Even though you have Rosengarten and Ronnie right now, Ronnie's probably coming to the end of his career, within the next few years. And getting a guy like Josh Simmons would kind of keep things going, and they need a swing tackle in case of injury. So I would say Josh.
And to make this a three-peat, that would have been the guy that I would have liked as well. Again, even though he probably wouldn't start, and you'd be like, why would you raise the first round pick on a guy that ain't gonna start? You only got 2 tackles on the roster.
Yeah.
You have 2 tackles on the roster. You got Ben Cleveland that played a little tackle that he can moonlight there for maybe 2 or 3 plays, but he ain't a tackle. And that's the only other option. So
can he play inside at all?
Who?
I don't know.
Simmons. Yeah, he can.
He can
if need be. Yep.
Well, I mean, need be. So
it needs be right. And before when Chris get back in here, we'll see what he says. But I do want to notice one thing, and I just noticed this, while we were talking. It's 20 guys on this list. 3 of them are safeties. So to me, that tells us something.
What do you think about Jalen Reed? I've seen his name pop up a few times.
I am terrified of anybody from Penn State.
Okay, fair.
and there's no crap on Jalen Reed or whatnot. I just Penn State to Baltimore scares me.
I hear you.
It scares me. And you look at Oweh, and you look at not Adisa, Adisa, and
to be fair, he hasn't really gotten on the field yet.
Yeah, Ain't like we had Ed just blowing stuff up where he didn't have a chance to get on the field.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Was not hearing that kind of logic around James Prochet. That's wild.
I turned a new leaf, man. Turned a new leaf. Hey, James Prochet was
shout out to you for the growth.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. New year, new me.
That's right.
Chris, I don't know. Were you able to hear us while you was off?
No. My daughter, she just lost her first tooth.
Daddy moments.
We gotta talk. We're gonna talk afterwards. She gotta get the certificate from the tooth fairy.
Daddy moments.
She was like, she said I want $1,000 from the tooth fairy. I was like, good luck with that.
She want the tariff prices.
Hey, is that tooth fairy? Does he work with grown folks?
Shit, I hope so.
I got about 3 back here I can do without.
I knock out a few myself.
We punching these jokers up out of here. let me get 3 stacks, fairy. Get 3 stacks. But the question was, these are the people that have reportedly been, on 30 visits for the Baltimore Ravens. Anybody on this list that you like would want them to have, even though we've only picked one person that we've had on a 30 visit from what I read? Anybody on this list that you like, hey, I wouldn't mind having that person on the Ravens team?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Josh Simmons.
Oh, 4 for 4.
All right. We all pick Josh.
Go ahead. Your reason why.
You kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone with Josh Simmons, because early on, have him at left guard. Whenever Ronnie's moving on, or let's say he gets injured, you have in my opinion, the second best left tackle in this draft. But it's the reason why he probably won't go that high is because of that injury that he had. So that's why you get that discount of why he might be around in the 20s. So, but for me, just based on talent before the injury, like, he was the second best tackle to me.
Behind Campbell.
Yeah, behind Will Campbell.
Yeah, that's an awesome boy. That joker can move laterally. He really got dancing bare feet. That injury really, that injury is going to help a good team get better. Because of the injury, he's not going to go like in the top 5 or top 10, but he's going to go to a team that's probably decent, and it's going to make that team that much better, especially if he's all the way back to what I was seeing before injury. Because he was, and I think, Chris, I speak for both of us. If he don't get injured, he probably number 1 tackle. You think?
He might be. I mean, he was on his way for that. And to me, like, it's not just like people are like, oh, you could draft a left tackle and put him at left guard, but like, say Josh Connerly, who's a left tackle for Oregon. Like, I don't think he could play guard. Like, I don't think he has that kind of skill set. But a guy like Josh Simmons, I think he has the play style to be able to play guard, and then obviously move outside when that time comes. So I think it'd be a 10 out of 10 pick, as long as that knee checks out, and that's something we don't have coming back from that patella injury. So we don't know where he's at with his development, but he did do some workouts, some positional workouts at Ohio State's Pro Day. So at least he's moving. He's not on crutches or anything like that. So it's going to be a medicals with him.
Right. So whoever drafts him, he should be ready by training camp for them. Should be whoever drafts him. But you won't know how healthy he is until you get him and you'll build him and run him through your whatever. Can they do that in the pre-draft process other than the combine? Take a guy and like let the team doctors do whatever they do. Can they do that on these 30 visits?
I believe DK did that. Remember when DK posted a picture in Baltimore and he was like in the doctor's office and he was like something like to the effect of like, here we go again, and he was like, I guess because remember when DK was coming out, he had a neck issue.
Yeah.
So when he was on his 30 visit, I guess they had him in the medical facility just to check it out. So I do think they do that.
Okay. Well, that'll be his big thing then. And April 7th, so it already happened. So they probably got what they need out of him already. But those are the people that have reportedly been on 30 visits. And all 4 of us out of these 20 people, all 4 of us picked Josh Simmons as a guy that, should be the second person we brought in, if he's there at 27. And I'm thinking first round pick. I don't think he'll make it out the second round. I don't think at all.
No.
Yeah, unless those medicals come back looking crazy, that's the only way.
Let your daughters know that Soto just hit a home run.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. That's what that means for me. I'm sorry. He just went deep. All right, let's go to the second thing on the chart. All right, this right here from Mike Cadlick. Bill Belichick apparently admits in his new book, The Art of Winning, that the Patriots made a mistake passing on Lamar Jackson in the 2018 NFL Draft. Instead, they selected running back Sony Michel from Georgia, I think from Georgia, with the 31st pick, and Jackson went 32nd.
Yeah, you don't say.
How many other people regret this now?
Everyone.
All of them.
But what the thing
maybe Buffalo doesn't.
Right. The reason I put it up there because I want you guys' opinion on, like, with Belichick coming out saying that. How many more like decisions that do you think like teams look back and say, we should have did X, Y, Z, and especially because he's always had affection for Lamar, always shown it.
Well, he's always wanted a dual threat quarterback, right? You know, he just wasn't really in position to get one. I know
when you got Tom, you can't really move off of him.
Right. But I remember that Monday night game we played the Patriots and they kept on putting the camera on Bill. He's taking notes. I know what that note said. He said, "I messed up." Right? I should have drafted this man. We need to get one of those. That's what you put on those notes, right? A lot of teams feel that way, but they're not going to admit it because it's their pride, it's their ego. They're not going to admit that they made a mistake. I mean, that's been the theme of Lamar Jackson's whole career, is a bunch of people, not just coaches and GMs, media alike, not wanting to admit that they messed up on them. They keep moving the goalposts for them, right? They got it wrong. That's all it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's in my opinion, like when I was watching that draft, I thought the Saints were trading up to take Lamar when they traded up to get Davenport.
Yeah, I was terrified.
I was like, oh damn, here we go. And then they picked Davenport, and I was like, stupid.
Appreciate it.
And but every team does. I mean, when you have a guy like Lamar, who's he's fighting with history now. Like, it's not even just his peers. Like, it's not Mahomes, it's not Josh Allen, it's not Burrow. Like, he's putting up numbers against history now. So when you have a quarterback who's doing that, and all of the shit that was said before pre-draft about him, post-draft, post-MVP, post-second MVP, post what should have been third MVP.
Right.
It's like, whoever is still doubting him, just don't even listen to them. Don't even pay attention to them because they don't know football.
True.
Yeah, I was just looking. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but Carolina took DJ Moore in that draft.
Yeah,
and love DJ Moore. DJ is a great player, but I mean they tossed DJ Moore. They tossed DJ Moore out like he was nothing, right? So I guess you could. That's also because Cam was still kind of hanging around.
But then they They drafted that West Virginia quarterback that year, didn't they?
They did. Cam was still. This was like the last good Cam year thing. And
Lamar would have fit right in like he would have.
But the thing was, I mean, you don't 100% know that Cam's just going to be finished at that point,
So that's before he went to New England, correct?
Yeah. This was not like it was a couple years after the initial shoulder injury, and I want to say this is the same season that dirty ass TJ Watt speared him in the shoulder and really kind of put that whole thing to bed. But Cam had a really good year that year, and they finally put some weapons around him. So I mean, I know why Carolina didn't go in that direction, but obviously, in hindsight, you take Lamar every time with that pick.
True. That's the beauty of being able to look at hindsight. Because everybody should be, with the exception of what Bill Poland, would probably be thinking, man, we should have picked Lamar.
Yeah.
And I just like the fact that Belichick got the I don't care, I don't give a to just come out and say it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of teams feel this way. A lot of GMs or a lot of coaches or whatever feel this way, but they ain't gonna say it. They ain't gonna admit it because they don't want they like being wrong.
Yeah,
Because
Bill got a new
like you
lease
said,
on
all the
life.
stuff they talked about him pre-draft and change positions and it's crazy stuff. Like, do y'all remember? And I said this in a video the other day. Do y'all remember when Lamar first started playing? They talked about his skin color being the same as the ball. That's how it's be fooling people in the backfield. Y'all
Wasn't
remember
that
that?
Bills?
That was a Buffalo guy. Yeah.
And then he wore white sleeves the next game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much stuff been said about this dude, man. It's crazy how what he's had to go through to just be where he at now, man. And they're still going through it, honestly. But hey, he perseveres, man. I think his mom did a great job of raising him, and he just basically, in so many words, he say "F you" and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Facts.
All right, this man right here, Eric DaCosta. So, all three of you guys and myself included, anybody in this draft, pick them. No restrictions, no realistic whatever. So if you're EDC, who is the one guy in the draft that I gotta have on my team?
If I'm Eric DaCosta, okay, that's what we're saying here. If I'm Eric DaCosta and I'm making the pick is Abdul Carter because I suck at drafting edges. And I'm gonna go get the guy at the top of the draft who I feel like is almost a can't miss type of player that you can just kind of put in there and just forget it. That's if, like I said, you're putting yourself in those shoes and you're saying, man, I missed on Owe, I missed on Ojabo, I missed potentially on Adisa Isaac, I missed on Dalen Hayes, all these guys. I'm going and taking Abdul Carter.
Okay, good choice. The Penn State to Baltimore don't scare you?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. John Harbaugh does, but not the Penn State.
Yeah, it's hard not to go with Carter, but I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter.
You son of a gun.
Just because I'm such a big fan of what he does, just on both sides of the ball. It's just like people throw the word generational around, and I don't hear it enough when it comes to Travis Hunter, because what he is doing is like it doesn't even make sense. Playing like over 100 snaps a game. And not just out there, like
at a high level.
The best corner. You could make a case he's the best corner in the country. You can make a case that he's the best wide receiver in the country.
Where would you want him to focus?
On defense at first, because I think you can like get him in on some package plays. On defense, like you kind of, it's a little bit more intricate. Where as far as knowing where to be, knowing where your teammates are, knowing where your help is, knowing where your leverage is. I think offense you could kind of isolate him and have him do maybe not gadget stuff, but just give him a few routes here and there, and then kind of ease him into the NFL game. But he made a good point where he said he's not really worried about doing that at the NFL level because the college pace is so much faster. And the NFL pace is so much. They run like way less plays than in college.
Yep.
And now he's not saying like, oh, it's going to be easy, but it's not going to be as many
workload.
snaps. Yeah, like if you're playing Oregon, like good luck.
Right.
You're gonna be out there all night running in and out. So I'm interested to see where this journey takes him because I want him to succeed because everywhere that he's gone, they say he's a good kid, great student. Obviously the man on the field. So I want to see him be able to do something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, they but the thing is, because I was gonna pick Travis too, he would fit packages on both sides right now, and he could, like you said, primarily go to offense because primarily go to defense because I think the defense is harder to learn, and then have a package on offense, then slowly, maybe add to it. And then you talked about the pace. You got to think about how long the TV timeouts are in the NFL,
right.
And once you get under 2 minutes, the clock stopping every. I think this is the first year in college that it stopped under 2 minutes. So, like you said, you may run 80 plays in college, where both sides. Where in NFL you stretching if you run 65 both sides.
Right.
You stretching, and with all. And not saying he, like you said, can or can't do it, but it's I ain't gonna say it's easier, but I think stamina wise he could do it. Mental workload may be the reason why he can't do it. Stamina wise, I think he could do it. But who left? Jose?
I'm gonna go with Ashton Genty, man. Like if our identity is run the ball, right? And we have one of the best running backs in the league, and we haven't extended him. We got first of all, having that type of 1-2 punch is never a bad thing for the type of offense we want to be. He can make an immediate impact right now, even playing behind Derrick Henry. And then when Derrick Henry moves on, because he's 31 now, we have our guy to keep it going, that playmaker on the offensive side that help out Lamar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes a world of difference. So yeah, no, I mean, I think Ashton Genty is guy for me. I like the Travis Hunter pick, but if we're not going to use him mainly on offense, I want to go somebody on offense.
Okay. And with Genty, that would put. Well, I think about to our last conversation we had on here when I said that if I'm Eric DeCosta, when I see Derrick Henry, I'm just turning and walking the other way, unless he come to me talking about extension. But if he don't mention the extension, I don't mention the extension. So I see there like, what up, Derrick? And I'm speed walk by the time he said, hey, I wanted to talk.
I got a meeting. Yeah,
I'm out of there because, like you say, 31, and I love what Derrick does for the team.
Yeah.
And I know he grinded out. I know he works hard, but Vash said, I just got here. How was our nation at G to get to Baltimore? So let me set it up for you, Vash. We basically just said if there was one person in the draft that you would take, no matter like unrealistic or realistic, it's just basically your fantasy person in the draft to Baltimore. That's what that was. Ain't no way we trading a bunch of picks to get up there. Eric DeCosta had a blow off. He's talking about some trading a pick. So that's how we talking about Genty with Baltimore because of this is our fantasy pick, like the one person in the draft that we would love to see on the team. So that's how we got here. So we got 2 Travis Hunters, Genty, and who you had be?
Abdul Carter,
the edge from Penn State. And again, I'm terrified of Penn State to Baltimore. Terrified.
Why said he take Travis?
Oh, see, Bosh in there with me and Chris. In there with me and Chris. Appreciate it. Now, I turned something on. I don't know if it worked, but like when different streamers come in, they're supposed to get like a little shout out or something. But I don't know if it worked. Maybe I put the thing in there wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have put the @ and just put their name. But like Jay should have got a shout out. Bot should have got a shout out. Jared should have got one. Anybody else in here that streams, 86 Ghost should have got one. Red should have got one, but I don't know. Maybe I got to tweak it because I put the @ in front of the name. Maybe I shouldn't have put the @ in there and did it like that. Give me 1 second to see if I can fix that. See if this, because I want to, when people come, I want to show them love. Let me show them love. And I know Botch is here, so I changed Botches. Let me see where he at.
And look, man, there's about 8 people in here, man. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new in here, hit that subscribe button.
Let's see if this works. All right, now if it show up something for Botch or whatever, I know I got to take the @ off. But there it is. All right, so let's see what happens. Next up, good old Mark Andrews. So we know Mark is had the probably worst game of his career to end the season. I think what he did after that worst game was worse than the actual game, like avoiding the media and not talking about it, not standing up and being accountable for what he did or didn't do in the game. That spoke volumes to me more than the actual play in the game. I'm interested to see what you guys think we should do because there's a lot of trademark out there. There's a lot of let it play out and see what happens. And there's a lot of people like he should stay here forever. What do you guys think we should do with Mark Andrews?
I mean, look, Mark Andrews is a good player, right? But this is 7 years in, and he hasn't produced in the playoffs at all. I just don't see how we go forward with him, man. Like, can he play? Absolutely, he can play. Can he help out other teams? Absolutely, he can help out other teams. I just don't think he can help our team, and especially when we have somebody like Isaiah Likely, with it feels like he's having him go out there and take those snaps is holding Isaiah Likely back. I say trade him now, where we can get some value from him. If we keep him, I mean, he's not a negative necessarily until we get to the playoffs, but yeah, move on from him. We have his replacement on the team, no question.
For me, I obviously I would need to know like what are they getting back, because if it's like a 4th round pick, then might as well just keep him, because 4th round pick, that's really nothing. So to me, the value of having him on the team over having a 4th round pick, like I'd rather have him on the team. But if a team is coming with a 2nd round pick, or if they're doing like a straight up player for player trade with just talking crazy here, like a guard or something like that, then yeah, I'm on board. But if it's like a 4th round pick, I might as well just keep him.
Oh, that's unfortunate, because I was going to say trade him to Carolina for a 4th round pick. Because listen, look, you ain't getting no 2nd round pick from Mark Andrews, because bad teams will just pick a player there. Good teams say this dude's gonna tank our season when we get to the playoffs. I mean, well, look, if you want to do a player for player, I got Tommy Tremble right there for you, right? And we can swap those tight ends, and everybody go about their business. If I'm Baltimore, I would have cut him immediately and open up that money and go after some offensive line help. Maybe go after a receiver, go after some of the early edges who are available. Holding on to him kind of feels like he's not going anywhere regardless, because if you're going to move on, you should have moved on already.
True.
But if it's me, I'm Dan Morgan. I'm going to call Baltimore first thing on day 3. I know Eric loves them 4th round picks. Sorry, Chris, but I'm gonna offer him, and we're gonna bring him down to Charlotte and help Bryce Young keep his development going.
What was the name you said a moment ago? Who was that guy?
Thomas Tremble. He's he's there's going to be a discount for you this year. He's much younger. He's very.
You didn't
athletic.
even say Jatavian Sanders. That's the one I'd be more.
No, I didn't. No, not available. And Tommy can block. Tommy can make plays every now and again. He went to Notre Dame. I don't know if that's a plus or minus for you. I hate it.
We in the same college team, so both of us hate Notre Dame.
I know. But Tommy Tremble, man, like he's like 8 years younger than Mark. Man. You love them young players you can stash on the bench.
I'm good. I'd rather go out there with Cornrow Colaw.
Colaw gonna be tight end too. You put him behind him, sit him on the bench, develop him over the next few years.
Wait.
Let him.
I know you ain't finna say Tremble gonna be tight end 1.
No. I very likely.
Okay. I was wondering where you was headed with that when you just wanted for clarity.
Likely Kohler and Thomas.
For clarity.
You can't trust grown men. Like, call me.
But anytime you get Tommy Tremble on your team, this what needs to happen to him. Cause that's what he worth.
We can't hear. I ain't hear.
And that they heard it. It's Hawk Tour. Right. So that's what he worth. Nothing.
That's not true. Look, I mean, his regular season numbers are better than Mark's playoff numbers.
And the next topic. And the next topic. I didn't call you no lie. I just moved on. All right, so this happened after we had our last roundup, and John Harbaugh got the extension. Some people are upset about it. Some are happy about it. Some are in between. Where do you guys feel with John Harbaugh actually getting the extension? Like, you like it, you dislike it? Elaborate a little bit.
I mean, we knew he was getting the extension. They weren't going to let him go into the season as the lame duck coach, so it's whatever. Look, as long as when you fall flat on your face in the playoffs again, he gets fired, it's fine.
No, I don't think he's going to get fired either. Like, I mean,
it's not fine then.
It's no, we're not surprised at all. Disappointing. I don't see how you can be happy about it at this point, man. Like, I just feel like you keep losing the same way over and over and over again when your window for winning Super Bowl is here. You're not making any changes at all. Like, I mean, you have to make adjustments whether you think he's a good coach or not. It's not working. It's for whatever reason he's falling short. You're not getting enough talent to overcome those bad choices that he's making, coaching choices that he's making in the playoffs either. So it's like we're just going to keep rinse and repeat. No, I'm not cool with that. But he's here, and all you can do is just hope that we turn it around in the playoffs. That's the only thing you can really do. But But to B's point, if we fall flat on our faces again, man, like they have to have that serious conversation. I don't think they will. I think they're just complacent, but. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody said, like we expected this to happen. Like nobody really thought his job was in jeopardy or anything like that. So It is what it is at this point. Like it's like the Daniel Falele thing. He's the right guard. Like It is what it is.
Exactly.
Like I can't do anything about it. So it's just that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm like you, Chris. I saw what you told somebody like. We just stopped talking about Falele because he's gonna be the guy. There's no need to even waste breath on saying who's gonna replace Falele because he's gonna be there unless something drastic happens. I feel like that with Falele. What else you think about Belichick? I mean not Belichick, Harbaugh.
That's pretty much it. Like just I think he's a jackass sometimes. I think he's very arrogant. I think he throws his players under the bus sometimes. I do think he has the support of the locker room, but I don't like when he's tries to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. Like you're human, you make mistakes. Like there's like the way he threw Ronnie under the bus one time, coming back from the injury, he threw Tyus Bowser under the bus. Things like that, I don't like. I don't like when players. I mean, I don't like when coaches do that. Especially established players like that. Because at that point, Ronnie and Tyus, they were, veterans on the team, leaders. So it's like you don't do that to people who have been in your building for a while and who are coming back from serious injuries. So, I just stuff like that. I just don't like about
him. My 2 cents on it is I'm okay with it because I pretty much know what I'm gonna get. But the only negative, I play devil's advocate with myself. The negative is you get a new guy in here, and he may be a super duper butthole like Chip Kelly was. The players, they publicly say they support John, and I don't, whether it's true or not, fails to be seen. People out loud don't publicly support Chip Kelly. You may get a guy like that. That's trying to dictate every aspect of the players, and they rebel on them. And next thing you know, we in the lottery for the next 4 to 5 years.
Well, then what does that say about what does that say about our front office if we're afraid that they get like a total failure, right? Like they're supposed to be one of the best front offices in the league, so it shouldn't be a problem replacing them. Huh?
Who? Yeah. So who would actually be in the process of hiring? So just say Jones gone. Who would be in that process? Ozzy? I mean not Ozzy.
EDC.
The president and the owner. EDC. He got something to do with that?
He should.
Played.
No, most teams the GM is heavily involved with the coaching search.
Yeah.
So it's the GM, the president, and the owner. Those 3 guys.
They probably
I don't think
EDC.
So it probably is just EDC because Sasha.
They probably bring Ozzy and tell EDC sit in the hall for a minute.
No, EDC is supposed to be in the lead guy when it comes to that. And it's got to be on him. Ask Shady McCoy. Yeah,
Shady don't like nobody.
Yeah, him and DJ.
Hey.
They two them 2 guys, they went in on Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
But I mean when you can't treat NFL players like you treat college players, you can't control, and now you can't even treat college players like that no more. They're just
that's why I don't think it's a good idea hiring a college coach, the first time NFL head coach, straight from college. I don't think it's a good idea if you're trying to win right away.
We got a 10 from Heather. She says, I'm just showing my support. Hold on.
Salute, Heather.
Coach, you are familiar with Desmond Watson. He's a beast and would be a great replacement for Michael Pierce. He is 4. Is that the kid from Florida, Heather? Is that the kid? If let me know if that's the kid from Florida. If that is, that's I know about him.
464 pounds.
He wears single digit too, Jose.
It started
he
off
wear
as
21. I'm like, he wear 21, I think.
Is that a typo? Is that
No, he about that big.
Wow.
He about that big. Playing nose, and he tough to move.
No kidding.
It's tough to move.
Yeah, it's tough for him to move.
That too. But he do like, and she made a good. He do remind you of Pierce, because there ain't a lot of like big D tackles out there anymore. They're more athletic. He is a throwback defense. He's a throwback nose tackle. He could be a 2 gap guy. You just put there and say, "Hey, whoop the center."
6'5", 449 pounds.
Just say, "Whoop the center."
That'll be a wild 3 years.
He wouldn't get moved at all. But the game has gone away from those big guys. Because you remember back in the day, Alabama used to get all linemen that size, all defensive linemen that size, and then they couldn't do anything with running quarterbacks. Johnny Manziel used to kill them. The different other running quarterbacks in the SEC used to kill them. So they had to get smaller D linemen because they couldn't catch the quarterback. Running quarterbacks used to give Nick Saban fits because he had them big old defensive linemen that were strong, but they couldn't run. Like Tate Cody, yep, like Mount Cody, exactly. And they couldn't run.
5'9", he ran a 5'9" 40 at 450 pounds, bro. Like,
I take that.
I'll take that. Yeah. 25-inch vertical.
Yep, I take that from that guy. He if you look at him on tape, and I ain't watched him specifically like individually, but he makes some plays too. He makes some plays too. He ain't one of the 6, well, not the 6, but how many we did, Chris? About 60 players. He ain't one of the 6 that we done. So, but he, hey, when we have this coverage next Thursday, if they draft him, we'll talk about him a little bit because we got these big old notebooks around here. We had these printers running. We good to go.
Yep.
Somebody say he's not better than Joe Evans.
Joe Evans the great.
Good old Joe Evans.
Man, the amount of faith that people have in these players is crazy. Remember Joe Evans was going to save the pass rush? Like what?
See, with Joe Evans last year, he had that great bowl game. But what people fail to realize is damn near everybody at Tennessee opted out of that bowl game last year. That's why he had that great bowl game versus an SEC team. Because almost the whole Tennessee team opted out. Almost. All right. Let's move on from John Harps to this right here. It says, trading back into the first round in 2018 and getting Lamar Jackson was probably one of the best draft decisions ever. You guys agree or disagree? And if you disagree, can you throw one out there that may, parallel that one or be even better than that one?
I mean, the Chiefs got 3 Super Bowls out of their trade up. So
yeah.
But I think, and I'm pretty firmly in this camp at this point. But I think Lamar's a better player than Pat Mahomes, and it's an organizational failure at this point why Baltimore hasn't won a ring.
I agree with you, B, because Lamar has done so much more with so much less over his career. Now, Pat got the Super Bowls, but Pat done had some pretty good teams.
Yeah.
Lamar did so much with damn near us 3 out there at receiver at times.
But the Chiefs, you definitely gotta give them credit for it because they are already a playoff team. They could have sat where they were at. They moved, they said, no, we're gonna move up and get this guy because we want to get better at this position. The Ravens needed a quarterback because if he didn't give Lamar Jackson at that point, we're looking at Mason Rudolph.
Oh my God!
Right?
What would it look like now?
I would not be watching football.
Y'all are saying that, but you would have an entire front office and coaching staff if you had drafted Mason Rudolph. So Harbaugh would be here.
Everybody. Yeah, Harbaugh is gone.
And you might have DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Not Lamar.
I'm good with what we got. if I got to take John and Lamar versus DeMeco and CJ, give me John and Lamar.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hey, trade-offs, man. Trade-offs. Can't please everybody. Can't have it all.
History says this duo is already done.
History does say that because it's after year 5, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, history does say that, but it's time, to defy history, to break records. All things mean be broken, and I need this dude to get 2. Would like for him to have the next 2.
Yeah,
would love for him to have the next 2 because the window.
we got to keep him upright, coach.
Yeah, the window, and that's you see all 4 of us pick Josh Simmons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you already took care of receiver. You went and got D-Hop.
And Tyler Wallace.
That's right.
Tylen Wallace 1,000 yards this year. Book it.
Yes, sir.
I was actually
all-purpose yards.
I like that they brought him back.
Who Wallace?
I was hoping Carolina would take a look at him.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like
Tylen Wallace got more production than
he don't want to win though.
Than Mingo. This guy got to get up. Speaking of,
well, no, he doesn't. Mingo produced a 4th round pick for us. What you talking about?
Speaking of, when we drafting our rookies?
Well, there are more. People in our league don't like to draft before the actual draft. So I mean, we'll set a date after that. I don't know.
Okay. I know the pairs we drafted before the draft. Correct.
People don't like adventure.
They scared.
I was against it, but I go with the majority.
No, I'm cool with that. I just was asking. I want to make sure I don't miss it because this is an important draft for me. It's an important draft. I finally got a quarterback that's gonna start. I've been handicapped with Deshaun Watson.
You need to have some.
I tried to trade you Gino when you first came in. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. That's what we need. We need to have some contraction talks.
Hey, we'll talk about that off stream.
Started Tom Brady 17 times last year. So
we're gonna have to have some discussions. We're gonna have to have an owners meeting.
Some tanking was going on. Some for real tanking in real life. All right, so NBA playoffs start. The play-in game start tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
No, tomorrow.
Here we go.
Lakers at 5.
You said you were doing basketball coverage. We had you covered.
Yeah, let me sit up in my seat now.
So, pick your team and stick with it. You're on camera. Even if your real team didn't make it. MJ say Lakers in 5. Pick your team and tell me why.
It's the Lakers, and the reason is LeBron and Luka. Like you're talking about. I mean, look, the rest of the roster is okay. You got Austin Reeves who can play a little bit, even though he think he Kobe, and that gets in the way. Hachimura can play a bit. You got some other nice role players there, but you've got 2 of the greatest playoff performers in the history of basketball on the same team. And, LeBron is in year 22. He's 40 years old, but he's still playing like one of the top players in the league. And I think he's just going to keep that going. And Luka, obviously has something to prove after he got screwed out of his $100 million.
Big time.
So,
I'm a LeBron fan. I'm going to go with the Lakers, but it should be OKC. Right? It's time for these young guys to step up and take over this league. SGA, I mean, one of the best players in the league. They have a terrific roster. It should be them and probably Boston. But look, man, LeBron, look, while LeBron's still playing, he's still playing at a high level. I'm gonna go with LeBron, and he got Luka now.
We already let Toronto get one, but it'll be a cold day in hell before a Canadian player is hoisting that trophy. I mean, I know Jamal is Canadian, but whatever. He don't really count. He's a sidekick.
Chris?
It's a little difficult to talk to guys who don't know basketball. It's clearly the Celtics. It's clearly they got ugly ass Derek White. That's the X factor.
And he cut his hair.
He cut his hair too.
He started dressing like Jason Tatum too. The sleeves and everything. He said, "I'm the captain now."
That's my pick. Though. I'm going with the Celtics.
Respect.
Okay.
Heather dropped 2. She says Luka has been going off. SGA is clearly the MVP. Yeah, I thought SGA was MVP last year. I thought.
Yeah.
Man, you can't overlook, like he's a great scorer, but you can't overlook center averaging a triple double.
That's what I've been saying.
Oh yeah, true.
Luka, I mean not Luka. Who averaging triple double?
Jokic averaging
Jokic.
a triple double. Yeah,
Yeesh.
third player in the history of the game to average a triple double.
Russ, one of them, right?
Russ and Oscar Robinson.
Big
Big
O.
O.
Big O.
I didn't think anybody was ever going to be able to do it again after the Big O.
Yeah, true. Especially not a big man.
Definitely didn't think that. Yeah,
because they assist. But the way they run the offense through him, and he basically stand at the top of the key and run point a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He may not bring it down the court, but he's standing at the top of the key and run point. And if you play off, he shoot the lit three. For me, my answer is twofold. My team is the Heat, but we not winning the championship. I'm going Bucks.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Very
Bucks.
disappointing.
And the reason I'm going Bucks is I think the West is going to beat up on each other, and the East. I ain't gonna say it's easier. I don't have faith in Cleveland, like even though they're the number one seed. And I just feel like the Bucks can get through everything that's on this side, with the exception of maybe like Chris said, maybe Boston. But I'm because my team ain't gonna win it, so I'm going with the Bucks and just rooting for Giannis. I want Giannis to do his thing, and cause he got to do it by himself now. Because I don't think Lillard's coming back, is it? Lillard's done for the year, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was out, but I don't know if he's done for the year. Chad, help me out. Is Lillard done for the year? Coach, somebody told me stay off the weed. Hey, if I would have been on the weed, I would have said the Heat.
Is Don Rivers coach room?
I forgot about that X factor. What's the opposite of X? What's that no factor? I forgot about that guy.
Optimism emerges. The Bucks Lillard could return for playoffs 4 hours ago.
Oh, and they got Kuzma too. But Jay say Kuzma in the playoffs is highly questionable, like the TV show.
He locked in that 1 year. He got himself a ring, and he thought he was never going to have to pay attention again.
And y'all know I like the Warriors too. I just looking at that 1 versus 8. OKC probably the only team they probably want to see is Dallas, because them other 3 teams can beat them. I think Sacramento.
That's crazy. But you're right.
Sacramento.
I don't think Sacramento can. I don't see it with Sacramento. But
you think? What about Golden State and Memphis?
Oh,
I think both of them can beat
for sure. Yeah, Memphis. I mean, John need to grow up before I'm gonna pick him.
He definitely need to grow up.
Before I'm gonna pick him to beat anybody, he need to grow up.
He definitely need to grow up.
But they can't.
Did you see his excuse for the grenade celebration?
No.
So he said that's not a grenade celebration. That's him throwing words out his mouth and him blocking out the noise. Man, who asked for that lie?
And why didn't you have a better one?
That's like when your teenager tries to make it tell a lie to you, make some excuse up like it's the first. It sounds smart to them, but they don't realize that you know all the tricks.
Right. Let me see. Big Cuz say, what about the Clippers?
Yeah,
the Clippers gonna clip.
Yeah, the Clippers are the Clippers. Like what?
The Clippers gonna clip.
What do you mean? What about them?
What's gonna happen is when they got to play them every other night, Kawhi gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna just head out.
You remember when Kawhi first went there? There was that talk about them winning the championship that lasted for about, I don't know, 5 weeks.
And we were talking about the best draft trade, like one of the worst trades ever. You traded 7 first-round picks, including Gilgeous-Alexander, for Paul George.
Boy, did what's the dude that he used to play with Indiana, got the funny voice. He called Philadelphia early in the season when they got Paul George.
He's played where?
He used to play for the Pacers. Evan
Turner?
Evan Turner?
Maybe. He got old funniest voice with a big old nose.
I think it's
I don't know.
He said that when Paul George went to Philadelphia that they weren't gonna beat
Evan Turner
because Paul was gonna get hurt. I think it is Evan Turner. Paul George was gonna get hurt and the big ticket wasn't gonna play like for Flip. He said that was the worst thing that ever happened to him, and it came out and basically he was right.
Yeah.
He was 100% right. But let's finish this thing off with what I thought was the biggest news that then popped off since we've been here. Warren Sharp dropped the most expensive offensive lines in 2025. And good thing we B came with us because number one is the Panthers at 95.3 million. Number 32 is the Ravens at 19.8 million. What do you think about the investment in offensive line for the Ravens and for the Panthers? Since we have, we can discuss both of them since B's here.
It's funny because a lot of people will point out, like you did, Coach, that several of the offensive linemen in Baltimore are on rookie deals, but like we responded, two of them suck. So that's not really not an excuse. So they absolutely needed to invest more in the offensive line. It's malpractice to have a quarterback as good and valuable as Lamar Jackson and not make protecting him your number one priority. Bryce Young was one of the worst rookie quarterbacks in the history of football. One of the worst, and they said we better go protect him.
True.
They watched Lamar Jackson win MVP 3 times. I don't really care what the voters said. He won MVP 3 times, and they said, you know what we better do? Goddamn nothing.
Right.
Less than nothing, man.
The interesting thing here is I wish I could find this for 2024, and that way we can see what the correlation was.
It was the same, I believe. As far as Panthers and Ravens, I think it was the same.
Because we pretty much got the same guys. Who did we lose? That made
Zeitler
money. No, that was 2 years ago.
You lost Macari, who made like $5 million.
Oh, this year coming. You're right. Yeah, Macari. Yeah.
Josh
so
Jones,
we may have been at 31, maybe. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I said Josh Jones, but he wasn't making much either. No.
My thing is it going to correlate? All right, B, y'all got the number one spending. Do you think it's going to correlate to wins this year?
To wins? Oh,
not necessarily make the playoffs, but more than y'all had in the past.
I was going to say it's going to correlate. It correlates to protection. I mean, they've done a much better job protecting them. Correlate to wins is going to depend on what they do in terms of getting that 4th round pick over to Baltimore and getting Mark Andrews, using that number 8 pick on Tedero McMillan. Getting some guys who can make plays on offense, right? Because they had the worst defense ever last year. Everybody's kind of focused on that. They've also been bottom 4 in the league in passing yards for I think 3 or 4 straight years, right? Mm-hmm. They need help on both sides. Then they went out and they got a lot of help on defense. If they go out and they address wide receiver and they bring in some guys who can actually move the ball and score, I think it absolutely translates to wins.
Okay. And as far as the Ravens, we mentioned it earlier, Lamar doing more with less. You think you have a guy that's probably, in some people's eyes, I know mine, is probably the best player in the league. And you haven't, even though the guys are on rookie contracts, I feel like you should have done something to protect him. Because they say 19.8. Don't Ryder make 20 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not his cap number's not 19 for this year.
Okay. Because I was like, this is crazy.
And that rookie thing, like this is why I hate these type of narratives, man. Like, yes, Linderbaum, very good player. He's on a rookie deal still. Voorhees is a 7th round pick that's had an extensive injury history. We're not even sure if he's going to start. People are just penciling him in as a starter, which I think is shameful, man. Like that's putting no effort into the O-line at all. Falele, I can understand that a little bit more because you see some potential with him. Like if he can kind of clean up his his little
It's not touching people.
Yeah. You can see a potential there, but that's not good enough when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, right? You can develop those guys, but you need to bring guys that can play, and that's no investment at all. And I see Charm City Don in the chat saying that we're the cheapest wide receiver core as well. This is why me and B put out the hashtag defund the defense, and this is why we always kind of go in on the defense at the end of the year when we don't win, because we invest heavily on that side of the ball, and when we fall short in the playoffs, there's no talk of what they didn't do. They didn't make force turnovers. They didn't make a key stop, things like that. But it's always on this offense. It's always on Lamar about what he didn't do. Well, hell, the team ain't doing for him, right? You can't even protect this man.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go.
Oh no, I was saying Ronnie Stanley's cap hit 5.8 for this year. Linderbaum 4.2, Falele 3.6,
12.
Who is left? We've got Voorhees at
13.
Where is he?
And
1.0, and Rosengarten is 1.4.
So the starters are right at 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you ain't got no backups. So
yeah, we got Darren Davenport.
Well, what's Ricard making? Also,
that would be tight end.
Are you sure? Because I heard he could play guard.
Probably could, honestly. It's not about as big and strong as them, but anyway. It's gonna be interesting to revisit this probably in about November and see if the teams that spend the money offensive line are toward the top of the standing, so to speak.
I mean, we're spending 30 million less than the middle of the pack.
And just for a little to contrast that, you're spending 40 million in cap hits this year on Roquan Smith and Mark Andrews.
Wait. Mark making 20?
Mark is making Roquan's at 23.7, Mark is 16.9. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. You all right. Whew.
But I'm sure that's worth it.
More with less. More with less. And honestly, looking at these bottom 5 teams, I think we the only one that got a chance. Even with this less spending in the offensive line. If you look at the bottom 5 teams, we the only one with a chance.
Yeah.
Raiders, no. Bucks, I don't think so. Steelers, they don't have to pay nobody because they ain't got nobody to protect. And then the Seahawks. Who the Seahawks got? They traded. Who they got a quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Oh, that's short lived.
Yeah.
That's short lived at all. So that would be the last topic for our pre-draft show. So just so you know, we have a draft party here on the 24th, starting at 8:00. Everybody on the screen has committed. Everybody on the screen has committed. And we'll probably have a few more. So make sure you come and kick it with us. It'll be a wealth of information definitely for all the first round picks. And sparingly for the second and third. But we still have some good guys. So me and Chris did a bunch of videos about them, and we'll know most of the guys anyway, even if we don't know them in detail. But if we don't know them in detail, we got enough information that we can pull and talk about them real quick. But the first round, we're probably gonna know all them guys. It's just gonna be who goes where and how did that person fits in whatever team they go to. And we'll stay here till the Ravens pick, and then we'll be out. As soon as the Ravens pick, we'll talk about who they pick real quick, and then we'll be out because it'll be about 10:30-ish around that time. And so, that's a Thursday. Most of us got to go to work, myself included. And Friday, I'll be back. And, whoever comes back Friday, they come back. So that's what we get. We do have something cooking up for later on this week. Chris and I we still good for tomorrow, Chris?
Yes.
So we and Chris, and we'll do our last draft junkies tomorrow. And we're doing our 3 favorite draft possibilities that we have not covered yet. Chris sent in his favorite 3 that we haven't talked about yet. I sent him my favorite 3, and that's who we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm not sure when our other little thing is going to pop off, but we're going to take care of it this week, and you guys will know when it come out. It'll be with DCP. It'll be on their channel. And Jose and B, what y'all got coming up?
Listen, lbhtshow.com. Go there now. Sign up for the newsletter. We've been teasing this for like 3 years, but it's almost here. It's almost here. Go to lbhtshow.com. Scroll down to the bottom. Join the newsletter. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, if you want to stay up to date on what's going on with us, with Coach, with Hendo from the Road Pod, all that's going to be in the newsletter. We're going to put out some stories from around sports. The main sports stories going on. We're gonna have trivia. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff. Go check it out. LBHTshow.com. All right, we're trying to build that up. Mel Kiper said EDC is the second best GM in the league. He's smoking meth, man.
I listened to his thing, to his episode on the lounge. He said a whole lot of nothing in that shit. Like, I was like, what? Like, when it was done, I was like, what the hell was the point of that? Like, he didn't say anything. He was just naming guys. He was like, I like this guy, I like that guy. And it's like, why do you like them? Explain the players. Like, it was just nothing.
I'm glad you just saved me an hour, because that was on my agenda to watch tomorrow. You saved me an hour.
Watch it. Watch paint dry instead. It'll be more productive.
So with that being said, we're gonna end this on paint drying. I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Draft Junkies with myself and Chris. Tune in Wednesday for Lunch Break Hot Take at their regularly scheduled time, 7:15. Pop out for Hendo because he dropping them here, there, and everywhere. And then next time we come back on, we need to see 18 Beers Mike at some point.
Thanks.
So Mike, if you heard that, just know we looking for 18 Beers Mike on his way to 19. So I appreciate y'all, man. Tell a friend, and we'll see y'all tomorrow and Wednesday. And then next week we'll see y'all Wednesday and for Lunch Break Hot Take, and then Thursday for draft coverage. So it's only 10 days away. It's almost there, man. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace.